Welcome back to the second episode of the Coastal Feuds podcast. I'm your host, Brayden. Alongside me is Arjun and Charlie Van Dyke. Sadly, Tyler's not going to be able to join us tonight, but we're still going to have a lot of fun anyway. So let's just start right into with the week 2 of college football. The two biggest headlines, number one being we thought that Georgia Tech upsetting Florida State was going to be the biggest upset of the year, but we have easily been proved wrong with Northern Illinois beating the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That was it was a pretty painful game to watch, seeing Notre Dame just struggle so much at the end offensively, just having consecutive three and outs back to back to back.
Yeah, honestly, I did. Riley Leonard just didn't really get it going. It looks like Notre Dame just kind of slept walk into the game after the big win at Texas A&M, and they didn't take the game seriously. And NIU, it seemed like, had been preparing for this game for a good amount of time. They knew every single thing Leonard was going to do. They bottled him up. Defense, it was more a defensive game. It was 16-14, I think the final score was.
Yeah,
They
I think
blocked the field. They blocked the final field goal. I think it was 57
yeah,
yards.
it was some crazy long, like it was 62 actually, I think it was.
62. Yeah, and they blocked it, and I guess that was just the them blocking the field goal was just the summing up the game basically for the Irish. Bad turn of events.
I think it was a pretty clear and cut case of Notre Dame just. I know it, sounds ironic to say it, but I think it's true and stands here. They didn't really put in enough hustle. I feel like they were. I like the point of sleepwalking in the first throughout the entire game. I really think you only can put up 14 against Northern Illinois, who you are their toughest opponent all year. You're not putting up against good Power Five teams. And so I think, being down 10-7 in the first quarter, I think even if they won the game, that still would have been an embarrassment. But the fact that you couldn't, wake up later in the game even and you still lose to Northern Illinois. And Notre Dame had the lead at one point. They had a chance to make a stop. They had a chance to make a win, and they just couldn't get it done. And I think, they're going to have to, they dropped in the polls this week, and it's just overall poor performance from Notre Dame.
I thought that when I was watching the game, they were Northern Illinois was driving at the end of the game, and I just want to. I feel so bad that I don't remember the Northern Illinois head coach name, but having the guts to go for it on a 4th and 1 at the, I think it was the 35-yard line, so they're well within field goal range, but he decides to go for it, and they eventually end up scoring a touchdown and take it. I don't believe it was a touchdown. I don't know, but I just thought it was just really gutsy of the Northern Illinois, and it really just embodied the entire the type of attitude that Northern Illinois had going into as the underdog. Like, hey, we don't have anything to lose, while Notre Dame had everything to lose from that game.
Exactly. I think to your point, they had nothing to lose. So the head coach, he knew that they were in the game, like in the game, and he knew that he had a shot to bring it home. So if he had settled and had taken a field goal, there's a possibility of missing it, obviously, but it is a higher percent chance of making it. But he did know that if he wanted to win the game, Notre Dame would be able to drive down the field easily and just score and win. So he took a risk, and the risk paid out for him.
I not to say that Northern Illinois didn't play a pretty incredible game, but I do think there was a lot of missing from the Notre Dame side. Riley Leonard, you threw 321 yards, which is quite impressive, but no touchdowns and two interceptions. That's not exactly a performance that's going to win against really any team. I feel like it should win against at least Northern Illinois, but not a whole lot of support from him coming from his weapons around the line, and I feel like he really just couldn't get the job done this week.
Yeah, it seems that Notre Dame is almost going down that same path that they did last year. They have another more older transfer quarterback coming in, Riley Leonard, just like Sam Hartman last year when he transferred in. And it's another early season loss, like the one they had against Ohio State. It was a really close game, something they could have won, kind of like this Northern Illinois game. And from that Ohio State on, they just went down this path and they just like fell down the rankings to, not that early preseason ranking that they were given, and I think it's going to be kind of almost like the same story that it is was this year. And I want to move on, Arjun, since you are a Penn State fan and you had the chance to be at the game. A little bit of a scare against the Bowling Green Falcons. You were down. It was a comeback win. You won 34-27, I believe. But what'd you see from that game? And is this something that Penn State should look at as something that's just a little hiccup or a real problem that they should look at going down the road?
Well, looking at the game, I could tell you immediately that the defense was just off. The whole defense, it looked like we had just completely changed the defensive scheme than what we had done at West Virginia. Linebackers were moving slow. Abdul Carter, our star defensive end, was off the field for all the crucial third and second downs and a couple fourth downs. So all of that, and also the fact that to the likes of Notre Dame game, I think Penn State came to this game sleepwalking. I really do think they did that. It didn't seem like they had put a lot of effort and preparing for Bowling Green, but I do believe that this is not a. I think this is a slight hiccup, but I do think it's also a problem because it shows how Tom Allen, our new defensive coordinator, old Indiana head coach, is still getting adjusted to the game, and it's at a point where he needs to figure it out because we can't be going into half down 24-20 to Bowling Green Falcons, and let alone that being down 17-7 at home at the end of the first quarter. That's just not acceptable. And me and my dad were talking, and the old defensive coordinator Manny Diaz, we were talking about how this would never have happened. But there is a silver lining. We did come out with the game. And last year, Michigan had a scare with Bowling Green in the early parts of the season, and they won the Natty. So I'm saying it's a long shot as a Penn State fan. But hosting college football playoff games at Beaver Stadium at night, give us a cupcake schedule, and we got a shot.
Arjun, I want to go to your point about talking how you felt like the Penn State defense was sleepwalking. I agree with that, but only through the first half. I think limiting any team to three in an entire half is any accomplishment to be proud of, even if it is just Bowling Green. And I especially think that the drive to win it, Bowling Green had a chance. They were down by 3. It was 27-24. They had an excellent opportunity to go down and win the game with a game-winning drive. And Penn State forced an interception off a terrible throw from the quarterback of Bowling Green. And I think that just really was a testament to how this defense was willing to dig in and keep their heels planted and be able to keep fighting, even though that they knew that they hadn't played well and they knew that the game wasn't exactly going their direction. They were able to keep fighting, and I think that's a testament to this entire Penn State team. Like you said, I know you're kind of joking about the national championship, but if they were able to play like that, if they're able to keep their heads up even going through tough times, I think that's not even a crazy statement to make.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree with you. I will say, for me at the game, the north end zone was very quiet, like the whole game. It seemed like there was a bunch of babies in the crowd, honestly. The south end zone with the student section, it was loud, it was pumping out all of that. But the first half, the crowd was basically dead. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of 12 o'clock kickoff and the beers hadn't hit in yet for the tailgaters. But nobody was screaming at all. Nobody was yelling their heads off until after halftime. And Drew Aller had a red zone interception. He threw it into double coverage when our receiver, Liam Clifford, was wide open. Everybody was losing their mind at that. And I will say, we had so many chances to finish this game out. We weren't staying focused. We had some injuries in the first half, but Charlie, you're right. We did step up in the second half when it was needed. Otherwise, this would be a very different me right now. I'd be livid.
Yeah, so another game like this that I saw is the Oregon Boise State game. You know, Oregon's week 1, only a 10-point win over Idaho, which is a state school, a D1 school, but it's a really small school that it was surprising to see Oregon, especially with all their transfers and all the money they spent on a bunch of other players, not perform in a dominating fashion. And we saw the same thing against Boise State. They squeaked by with a 3-point win, so they have shown that they can win in closer games, but Ashton Jeanty, he is for real. I mean, we've heard all this hype around him, but you know, it's somebody from Boise State. It's a smaller school. We know that the only 2 players I can think of that went to Boise State were Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, and that's about it. And Jeanty being able to prove that he can score 6 touchdowns against a legitimate defense, like a top 5 defense, it just really shows that, you know, better watch out. And I think that he could be really good if he went to the NFL this year.
I will say, Boise State is a really good team out of the group of 5. They're probably one of the stronger teams, or if not the strongest team in the group of 5. So I do think that is important to note. But also at the same time, Oregon was at home. They, like you said, they have all this talent. But I will say, I don't think the chemistry is there yet, especially because Dylan Gabriel is a new transfer. Evan Stewart is a new transfer. They have all these new transfers. And I think that come week 3 or week 4, when Big Ten play starts to pick up, they start to play some in-conference opponents. All these kinks will hopefully get like smoothed out. Like, did you see the 100-yard kickoff touchdown return? And he dropped the ball right before he got to the end zone. Like that stuff is just unacceptable. That's like something the Cowboys would do, right? So, like that's not even a diss to us, though. So they need to get those things ironed out, and they need to get back on track to not slip up in the Big Ten.
I 100% agree with that. And I actually do think the Oregon defense really needs to be able to become more like the Penn State defense I was mentioned earlier. They need to be able to find that ability to lock in a little bit more. They need to find the ability to, be able to dig down. I think Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon offense, they're playing incredibly well. I think Dylan Gabriel, 85% completion rate, 243 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good stats for any quarterback on any given day. But letting up 34 to Boise State, it doesn't matter who you are. I feel like 34 to a non-Power 5 team is a pretty big amount. I mean, Brayden, you're an Iowa fan. If Iowa let up 34, you would be screaming your lungs out. That would be unacceptable for you guys. And I think 34 to a group of 5 team. It's Boise State, like you said, they're a completely valid team. And the rushing game from Boise State was very, very very incredible. But I think still 34 as what was the 3rd ranked team in the country, now the 7th. I think it's kind of unacceptable to be letting up 34 at Boise State.
I will say the new quarterback for Boise State, they had a transfer this year from USC, Malachi Nelson, and there was this whole controversy because he was named the starting quarterback. But this kid from Boise State can actually play. Like I know Ashton Jainty was the offense for Boise State this week, but I will say that kid showed good amount of composure in a rough environment. He didn't really turn over the ball. I don't believe. You have to double check me on that. I don't believe he turned over the ball. But I just think this was really just a defining game for Boise State. Even though it was technically a loss, I think they're going to consider it a win.
Well, Charlie, I want to go back and recorrect you, but after Iowa's 1-point loss to Iowa State in the absolute crumble within the last minute of the game, I am not an Iowa fan anymore. I'm going to switch other teams. I'm definitely not going to be an Iowa fan anymore. Seeing that the defense was the main reason that we lost the game with just the complete fall down within like the final moments of the game, it was just, it's just a little frustrating.
Yeah,
So,
could I
yeah, go ahead.
Can I just ask you one thing? What happened to that week 1 Iowa offense that you were talking about?
Oh, well, we were riding off of the 40-point high. I believe it's some type of record because it's been a minute since we've had a number higher than 2 as the first one for the amount of points that we get in a game. I just know that it's always been defense and special teams. Usually our touchdowns come off of interceptions and fumbles and return touchdowns. Cooper DeJean, greatly miss him. But yeah, it was just, rivalry game. It's always going to be close. You're always going to fight a little bit more, but, we just couldn't come out on top with that. And from that, I think that we should move on to the NFL, which week 1 games just finished up today. We had the Thursday night game, Chiefs at Ravens. Chiefs coming out after a really close Isaiah Likely touchdown was called back after his toe was out of bounds. And we had a Friday night in Brazil for the first time where the Eagles came up on top of the Packers, and Jordan Love sprained his MCL, so he will miss couple weeks in the season. That means Malik Willis or Sean Clifford will be the starting quarterback. But boys, I assume that you watched some NFL games today. You looked at your fantasy teams a couple of times. Are there any players you'd like to shout out or teams that you think had really strong performances? Arjun, you look pretty enthusiastic. I'll start with you.
So first off, Charlie, I would like to apologize about last episode. I said to stay away from Saquon. That man is a dog. Oh my God. 3 touchdowns in a different country. Look at him. He's really good. I knew he was gonna be good, but I didn't know he was gonna be that good. So I'm sorry to your fantasy team. I'm very sorry to that. And then also, I'm sorry to Chris Olave. What the heck, man? He had like 2 receptions for 11 yards. I'm about to lose off of that. And the Saints wiped the Panthers. And you can't get Olave like 20 yards, 15 yards, 12 yards. Oh no! Derek Carr actually did something today, and Bryce Young looked like he was going to be working at McDonald's drive-thru this week.
I'll have to give a shout out to Justin Jefferson. I know it's basically to give a shout out to Justin Jefferson, but I honestly did not think Sam Darnold was going to be anywhere near an acceptable quality of quarterback. But Brayden, to go back to last week, you were 100% right. Justin Jefferson can do anything with anyone at the helm. I'm pretty sure he could do a great job with me throwing the ball. And if you know anything about my sixth grade quarterback performance, you know it's abysmal. Sam Darnold, I didn't think he was going to do as well as he did. 2 touchdowns throwing, and he got one to Justin Jefferson, which is the only bright spot on my fantasy team this week. And Vikings overall, I mean, as a Vikings fan, I hate to be optimistic because it's always disappointment, but 28-6, that's a great week 1 score. I'll take that any day of the week.
I will say, I had a couple of friends at the Giants-Vikings game. They all left with 7 minutes left in the first, apparently, and went to go tailgate.
In the first?
Yeah, it was they saw Daniel Jones on the sidelines. This is real, and they got up and left.
It opens the question: should they bring back Tommy Cutlets? Is Tommy DeVito the man?
Not even Tommy Cutlets. Bring back Jake Fromm. He was a stud. Bring him back. Brayden, I know you don't agree with me.
Listen, Jake Fromm has clearly established himself as a player that his alma mater looks upon, and the NFL teams he played upon, not too many people remembered them. But yeah, seeing the Saints performance, I know last episode I was talking about how the Saints are really stuck in the middle, but seeing how the Panthers performed, it is week 1, so we shouldn't all overreact, but I am a little concerned that if we see that a Saints team that is right on the edge of 500 wallop you by 37 points, I don't know how this Panthers team is going to be for this season.
Like I said, Bryce Young is going to be working at the McDonald's drive-thru. He's going to be putting the fries in the bag, right? He's like he looked like Shedeur Sanders out there. He had like no time, and honestly, maybe Shedeur will end up like him. I don't know. Maybe that's my take.
It was personally shocking to see Alvin Kamara actually run the ball well this week. I've had him on past fantasy teams, and I feel like every week I put him in, he just wouldn't do anything for me. He had a great game. He had 83 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's all you can ask for from a running back. And, I mean, I feel like the hype train never really got off the station with him. But if he can do this every single week in, week out with the Saints, I agree. I think the Saints are really Super Bowl contenders.
Okay, let's watch ourselves here now. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, like you said, on fantasy teams, the really only game he's been remembered for has been the 6-touchdown Christmas game. And ever since then, it's just been injuries and suspension. But we know what he can do. In his first 4 seasons of the league, he had, I think it was at least 1,400 yards from scrimmage. He was always having 800 yards. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard rushing season, but he's always getting receptions with it. And it's just really one of the best dual threat running backs in the NFL, like him and Christian McCaffrey. But seeing that, sorry. So my fantasy team, it was auto drafted, and I have 4 Vikings players. I have Jordan Addison,
Ooh.
TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, and I have Johnny Munt.
Oh, Johnny Munt. Absolute legend. Johnny Munt's him.
So
Is this like a 35-person team league or something? Why do you have a guy named Johnny Munt?
20-team league. It is.
Oh my god.
It is not. Yeah. So auto draft, you don't have a backup for every position, but I really thought that Aaron Jones had a really strong performance, and we've heard him. I think he was talking with reporters, and he said that he thinks he's now just entering his prime, which for me was a really big sigh of relief to hear this confidence, because when you auto draft, you're not super sure about all the guys. But seeing that Aaron Jones's performance today on the ground and in the air, and Charlie, like you said, Sam Darnold, he looked solid out there. I'm not saying he was
He threw
looking
a
like a
pick.
superstar, like someone that opposing defenses better watch out and better game plan for, but he's somebody that if you throw in, hey, he shouldn't make too many mistakes. Just give it to the right guy. You don't have to be a superhero. Just give it to your playmakers like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I wish Jordan Addison, his ankle was okay because he left at halftime. But I think Sam Darnold, like you said, is in a better situation because in his previous teams like Carolina and the Jets, who were his playmakers around him? Who do you have?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore. He's on my fantasy team, so I kind of need him to clutch up this year.
But what he had DJ Moore, but with what offensive line? He didn't have one. But now he has Minnesota. He has one of the best left tackles in the league, Christian Darrisaw. He has Justin Jefferson, the highest paid receiver and arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL. Jordan Addison is blossoming as a young star. He had a great first year last year. TJ Hawkinson, he's always consistent as soon as he comes off of that injury. I think he'll be really good. And with Aaron Jones, so this Vikings offense, it's not in a terrible start. And who knows? Do we think that Sam Darnold might re-sign with the Vikings, kind of like what the Bucks did? You think maybe JJ McCarthy might have to wait another? I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll just give him the reins. Maybe they won't.
I don't think JJ is personally. I was not very happy with the Vikings taking JJ. I was at the Rose Bowl on January 1st. First play of the game, JJ throws a pick against Alabama. It was very luckily called back, but I think that if Alabama had gotten that pick, I think the game could have gone in a very different direction. I don't think JJ really has an ability to calm down or make good decisions. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I hope he'll prove me wrong with the Vikings, but I don't really see JJ being the franchise quarterback for the Vikings anytime soon. And if Sam Darnold's willing to put up numbers in games like this, give Sam Darnold the reins, give him the keys to the city. That's all we need.
Yeah, and I kind of want to touch on that. The Vikings did have a really good game, but it can almost be overshadowed of how bad a game the Giants had. Danny Dimes was not looking good. He had that pick six. That was a dagger to the gut. That was just Andrew Van Ginkel made a great play, able to jump up there. Wasn't really his fault. But we also see that, he's still it's feel like every year these past 3 years has been a prove it year for Daniel Jones to prove why he should be the Giants franchise quarterback for years to come. It was like last year he got hurt. The year before it was also that. And now this year, I really think they're giving the Giants organization is giving him no room on the leash, right? So I think that this game, it's kind of just a little bit of a downward spiral. Malik Neighbors was talking after the game that he was just trying to do his job, trying to get open, trying to get balls. He had a pretty okay game, like 5 receptions. I believe it was 65 yards. So it was a good first rookie performance, but I am worried about how the Giants are going to do without Saquon Barkley this season. Ever since Brian Dable had that coach of the year, they didn't do good. But this year, I don't know if it's going to really be any better. It could even more likely be worse.
Personally, I do believe this is a tank year for the Giants. I've been talking about that all off season. I think they're gonna just have Neighbors develop. I thought they were gonna bring in a veteran wide receiver. I thought they were gonna bring back OBJ. I know that's never gonna happen because of what happened in New York. But I thought that he would bring in a veteran wide receiver, someone like OBJ, maybe a Jarvis Landry. I don't even know if he's still playing, to come in to mentor him because Neighbors is still a young kid. He has a good work ethic. He is all that. But I think this year is just really about developing people and then getting your franchise quarterback next year. Because let's not forget, before today, Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott were on the same salary. They got the same checks each week after a game. Now, Dak is, I think, the highest paid player in NFL history. If I'm
Yeah,
not
it
right.
was something like that. It was just a huge deal.
4 years,
40 million,
226.
I think.
Oh, 4 years, 226. I think it's like 40 annually, not
Okay.
including bonuses. It's crazy though. Yeah, so I do think this is a down year for the Giants. I do think living in the New York suburbs and outside of and in Jersey, a lot of unhappy people will be around here, and a lot of happy people for the Jets. But I do think that the Giants will suck. All right.
So Arjun, you were talking about earlier how this year might be the last year for Daniel Jones and the Giants. So who do you think would be the replacement for the Giants? Most likely going to be in the top 10 for the draft picks, but which quarterback do you realistically think could be that replacement for Daniel Jones?
So right now, I think the Giants are going to land a top five pick if they don't trade it or if some crazy turnaround happens. I do think that they're going to get Carson Beck out of Georgia. I do think he's a perfect scheme fit for Brian Dable and what he did for Josh Allen. I think Carson Beck, in a way, is just a better Josh Allen, just maybe a little bit less mobile. Uh, so I think that's a perfect scheme fit, and I think he's going to develop well under Dable if the Giants keep Dable.
Arjun, do you regret giving away Saquon Barkley or no?
I'm a Cowboys fan, but
Oh, you are a Cowboys fan.
yes,
Excuse
I
me.
am.
Do you
I
think the
I
Giants, does your isn't your dad a Giants fan?
Yeah, my dad is a huge Giants fan, and he
Does your dad regret giving away Saquon Barkley?
my dad very much so was happy for Saquon because he knew how badly the Giants treated him with a franchise tag as your franchise player is just disrespectful. But also the fact that he is in the same division now and he's gonna see the Giants as a revenge game, my dad is not happy about. My dad is also livid that our offense is gone because Saquon was our offense. I mean his offense, not our. I don't associate with the Giants, but he was their offense, and it showed how much the Giants needed him in this game today. Even though he doesn't usually play every single game because he's such a physical and elusive and a power back like in one, but I think it showed the post Saquon era of New York Giants football.
Do you see the Giants taking a running back to fill the Saquon void if they are able to get a top five pick?
I don't think they're going to take a running back. If anything, I think Ollie Gordon will fall to if they get another pick. I think because think about it, no running backs are going to stay at the top five or the top 10 position. It's going to be offensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, quarterbacks, maybe a receiver if there's any good receivers this year. I think Ollie Gordon will go top 15 or top 17, like when Bijan went, right? I just don't think he'll go top 10. Now, if the Giants do want to do that, there are definitely some second and third round options, but I just don't think they'll do that, honestly. There's bigger
No,
holes to fill.
no, they won't do anything with a running back. They signed Devin Singletary in the offseason, who, when he had his chances with the Bills, he was a pretty good running back. They also drafted Tyrone Tracy Jr. out of Purdue in the fourth round, so that's another young backup they have. They also have another backup. I forget his name, but that's not the running back. So honestly, the Giants, it's a tricky situation because they're paying Daniel Jones all this money, and I think honestly, they're gonna have to draft a quarterback. I've seen mock drafts where your guy, like you just said, Carson Beck, would fall to them, or it would be Shador Sanders. But with Shador Sanders, I do think he is really talented. If he's given a good offensive line, I think that he could be someone really special. But hearing that, I remember, I think it was last year, Deion Sanders was talking that his sons, he doesn't want them, he doesn't want them playing anywhere cold. Like it was just this weird thing. It was, I don't know. He was talking about
Didn't
how he
Deion play for
doesn't he
Buffalo?
does yeah, he was talking about like he doesn't want them to play in like Buffalo or like New York just because of like the weather or stuff. It was something weird. But after the game against Nebraska, it could be after his press conferences and the videos on Twitter came out and things like that, it could almost be interpreted that he was blaming, like there was two different instances where he was blaming his offensive line, and he had an interception where he seemingly blamed the freshman wide receiver. But seeing that it's a bad rep, right? But it's also something so hard to do, to just not blame your guys when you easily know that the problem for the Colorado offense is their offensive line. So it's hard to do that, and we almost saw a really good example of that in Patrick Mahomes last year. We saw that the Chiefs, I think, led the NFL in drops last year, right? And Mahomes is always going to be asked, "Hey, what's your opinion on the receivers dropping these balls?" And like, "Oh, you're having all these interceptions that are going through the hands, or they're bobbling it to defenders." And he never once blamed them. And it really just shows that, having that accountability and just trust and belief in your guys is going to be a really important piece in order for you to develop into a successful quarterback in the NFL. Like, I wouldn't think of Tom Brady or Joe Montana or some of the other, or Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Drew Brees, and like none of the really great quarterbacks you would think of that would just blame their receivers or blame the offensive line for a bad performance on them, because as the quarterback, you're going to get all of the hate, right? Win or lose. Daniel Jones, perfect example of this. Giants lost. There's plenty of mistakes that they made offensively and defensively, but Daniel Jones is going to take all the hate because he is a quarterback. So
I will say,
yeah, nope.
my bad. I will say that it's a confidence factor, right? If you're Shador and you go on the press conference and you talk about like how many times did Mariola get touched? Who cares? You walked out with 2 minutes left in what, the second or fourth quarter? I don't remember if it was halftime
Yeah,
or
but it
the
was 2 minutes in the fourth. Yeah.
yeah. That's You're supposed to be a leader. You have the L on your jersey or the D for dogs, right? Your dad is the coach. Your daddy's son, essentially, right? Those guys are blocking you. You have to show them respect. And if you're a leader like Mahomes, you're not gonna say anything. You're just gonna push through. And look at Mahomes. He won a Super Bowl, right? It's just about having the connection with the guys. Those guys are blocking for you. They don't block for themselves, right? They're there protecting you. They're the ones who get their helmets and their jerseys dirty, so yours is clean, right? So you're sitting there and you're talking about all this, all that. Sure, they're not sure the O line, the offensive line for Colorado is the glaring problem. But if you go and you tell them in a press conference to the media, to the national media, that how many times did Raiola get touched and all of that, right? You're putting the blame on them, even though, in a way, if I watched the game and I saw this, it didn't look like he could read a defense. Personally, I really don't think he can read a defense that well. And also, if you're a leader and if you're Shador, you have to put some of the blame on yourself, right? I know the offensive line is giving you a bunch of problems, but you have to take some accountability. That's what leaders do, especially if you're the quarterback of a football.
Charlie, any thoughts on that?
No, I have nothing really much to add. I think that's a great synopsis of what Shador Sanders really needs to do. I do think it comes a little bit from a bit of entitlement. I think, I did like you point out how he, you know, it's his daddy's team. He feels like he has that, sense of I deserve to be here. I need to be here. I am, the best man for the job. And I do feel like there is a sense of nepotism, or a sense of Dion gave Shador, his son, this job. And, a part of me wants Shador to prove people that that's not true. But when you go out and you start blaming your line, and you blame your receivers, and you blame people who aren't you, you start pointing fingers at everyone that's not yourself. It kind of proves the haters right at a point. And I think that Shador either needs to change his attitude or change the team that he's playing for.
I will say, to add on to that, Charlie, I completely agree with you. It proves the haters correct. And I will say, Colorado had 45 incoming transfers this season. This isn't something to be like, oh, they're still figuring it out. Like every team in college football right now, they are figuring it out. But I will say that figuring it out in private is good, but putting it on blast in the public media makes you look like a 5-year-old kid uh who just fell off his bike in the neighborhood and is blaming it on like the wind or something like that. You look like an idiot. You look like an idiot. That's what Shador looks like.
Yeah, and with that, I know that Shador, he is a special player. And Charlie, I know you mentioned the nepotism part. There might be a slight factor that we never know. But if you think about it, who's going to start over Shador at Colorado? What other quarterbacks? Yeah, exactly. So
They're not recruiting one. They're not gonna recruit one. Dion's not gonna recruit one. He wants his name on the back of a jersey.
okay, yeah, and so Shador is the starting quarterback, right? And this Buffaloes team, we remember 2 seasons ago they were in shambles when Dion took them over. And the one thing that all of us know about bad teams is that they don't have a good offensive line. So it's not like Shador Sanders is walking into a 49ers type situation with, oh, wow, I have all these playmakers and this line is fantastic. I have one of the best linemen in the league. No, he's going to have a bad offensive line. It's going to be a Caleb Williams type season like he was last season, running around trying to make plays to all of his playmakers. And sometimes that success, it's really risky and you can make a lot of mistakes from it. But seeing that Shador needs to realize that, hey, this offensive line, it's not going to be good just like that. You're not going to have like the line that the Washington had last year in your second season when you're still recruiting. It's going to take a couple more seasons, which Shador Sanders won't be here in a couple seasons. He'll probably be in the NFL. But it's just realizing that, hey, I know that this offensive line isn't going to be great. I know it's a weak point, but that doesn't mean it doesn't give you an excuse to blame it on them. Now, going away from Shador Sanders and all this nepotism and not liking what he said, are you guys ready for some NFL trivia?
Ooh,
Let's go.
I would love it.
All right. So I have 5 questions. So I'm gonna say them each one by one. I want you guys to write down your answers, and then at the end we'll do a reveal of what the answer was, how many you got right, and who ultimately will win this competition.
Okay.
Are you fellas ready?
I am.
Okay. So before I go, there are some questions in here that have something to do with you guys, or at least something that maybe you should know. So first question. What University of Southern California quarterback was drafted #1 overall in 2003?
Wait.
Bag work.
I try not to learn any USC people's names because I just learned to hate them all. Oh shoot! No, I know this.
Don't say it. Just write it
Oh
down.
wait. Oh,
Oh, bag work.
hold on.
Arjun's feeling confident on this one.
I'm not.
I know this.
I should know this. I feel like I think I'm right, but okay, whatever.
Okay, you guys ready for the next question?
Go ahead.
Okay, how many yards wide is a football field?
Okay.
I don't think you will get this one exactly, but closest to it will win.
Oh, geez. So it's probably like a decimal or like a fraction.
All right, you ready for the next question?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Who is the only team to qualify for multiple Super Bowls and has never once led a game?
Wait, like in the Super Bowl or?
Yeah, so who is the only team to go to multiple Super Bowls but never have a lead in any of the Super Bowls they're in?
I know this one. I know.
All right. The Los Angeles Rams were the first NFL team to do what with their helmets in 1948?
Hold on. I might know this.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm taking an educated guess.
Okay. I'll be educated.
All right. And the final question. As of 2019, this is from a trivia set that I got a couple of years ago, so it's a little outdated, but it still applies. As of 2019, how many players over the age of 40 have caught a pass in the NFL? Bonus point if you can name them.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait. Did they have to be 40 or over in 2019?
Well, so from the entire league history and all the data tracking they've done, How many players have caught a pass and have been 40 years or older in in the NFL game?
Okay.
I know one that's obvious.
Okay. Do you guys have all your answers locked in?
Give me 1 second. I need to debate if I'm going to add this person or not. How many people? Wait, can you tell us how? You're not going to tell us how many people there are?
No. You have to guess how many people, and it's bonus points if you know who they are.
Okay. I think I'm ready. I think I got this.
Hold on.
We gotta get the Jeopardy music going. Hurry up.
Man, I don't know. I don't know the guy's name. I know his first name. I don't know the guy's last name. Oh, shoot. All right, we're going to go with this.
Okay.
Oh,
now, the first question was, what University of Southern California quarterback was drafted #1 overall in 2003?
Okay, wait. Should I type this to you like privately in the chat?
Wait,
and then,
why don't we just show the camera?
So, Charlie, did you write down your
I'm telling you, from an editing standpoint, as the man who edits this, it's easier just to, if Brayden pulls up his chat and he shows it to the screen. So type it privately to Brayden.
Okay.
Hold on.
Arjun, have you said anything in the chat?
I'm going.
You guys are both correct. The quarterback drafted #1 overall was Carson Palmer for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I was a little nervous about that one. I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh.
Bag work.
Now, the second question. How many yards wide is a standard football field? The closest one to it will get the answer correct. Charlie, you say it's 75.
Jesus.
Arjun said 27 feet.
What?
Oh, I should have done yards.
9 yards?
Okay.
Yeah, football field is 9 yards. What?
That's such a fumble. Oh, my God. Oh, my.
Okay.
I swear to God,
So,
it's like 30 yards.
By default, Charlie will get the answer. The answer was 53.5 yards.
What I've won.
I'll take that. That's a dub.
If I would have won, I'm gonna lose my mind.
All right. Now the third question. Who is the only team to qualify for multiple Super Bowls but have never led a game? Charlie, you said that it was the Vikings, and Arjun, you said it was the Bills, but it is the Vikings.
What?
Minnesota, baby.
I could have sworn the Bills and the Golden Cowboys.
No, Bills went to 4 in a row. There's a great 30 for 30 on this. You should watch it. Like the 4 Falls of Buffalo. They led the first. I know for a fact that they led the first one.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
So you guys got the first question right, but now Charlie has gotten 3 right compared to Arjun's 1. So now the question.
I look like a bum right now. Hold on.
All right. Now, the Los Angeles Rams were the first NFL team to display what with their helmets in 1948? So, okay. I think you guys technically both got this right because the answer was display their logo, and you both said putting on horns. But Charlie, I'm a little conflicted because you said not put a logo on it.
Oh, that's mine. That's mine.
I
That's gotta
said
be mine.
horns, but I said horns.
Hold on. No. That's got to be
Arjun, you said add horns, but Charlie said not put a logo on it, horns. But
I thought everyone else was putting like their logos on the thing, and I thought they just would like put like the
okay. That's close. I think I can grab another thing to try and replace that. So,
Okay.
Charlie, you're still leading 3-1, and now the final question.
3-1 comeback.
It says as of 2019, but it can still be applied now. How many players over the age of 40 have caught a pass in an NFL game, and who are they?
Do I have to name them all?
That's bonus. No, okay. Sorry. If you can name them, that's a bonus point.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just throwing some Hail Marys out there.
Yeah, same, man. Oh, wait. He might be over 40.
I'll put one in as a legacy pick, as a fan pick.
Okay. So the correct answer is 3 players.
Ooh.
The 3 players are Jerry Rice, Tom Brady. Whoa, my spelling is
I
terrible.
put Tom Brady.
Oh my God, Tom Brady.
Jerry
Tom Brady.
Rice, Tom Brady, and Brett Favre. But the bonus point would only apply if you got all 3 right. So Arjun got the question right, but I really do not want to give it to him because he said it was Jimmy Graham, Jerry Rice, and Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley was my legacy pick. That's a Cowboys legend. I should have put Ryan Switzer.
Okay, so Arjun, you got 2 questions, and Charlie, you got 2 questions.
Wait, I got 2? I got 3.
So the logo one was conflicting.
No. I technically got the yardage one. I got Carson Palmer, and I got the Vikings.
Oh, he's right. Yeah.
Whoops. Okay.
This
So
is
now
time.
it is.
So, like, I feel like you should give it to. Wait, does he get both points? Does he get both points for the?
No. So Arjun, he got how many players over the age of 40 have caught them?
Yeah.
And then he also got Carson
One
Palmer.
logo question.
Wait, didn't I get the Jerry Rice one though?
Or did the logo cut?
Yeah, the Jerry Rice one was the 41.
Oh, okay. Wait.
So Arjun, you got the how many players have caught over the age of 40, and the Carson Palmer one. Charlie, you also got Carson Palmer, the Vikings one, and the yardage one.
Right.
But I don't really know if I want to give you the Rams one because you technically the logo is their horns, right? But you said not display a logo. So, okay. I don't know about you guys, but viewers, if you stayed with us for this long, comment down below. Do you think Charlie should have gotten the point or not?
Yeah. Okay, if I don't get the point, does that mean Arjun gets it?
Of course.
No.
All right.
I think I just win.
Yeah, no, if you don't get it. Okay. But anyway, I'm just going to add, do you guys want to do more trivia? I have 5 more questions. Do you guys want to keep going? All right, awesome.
Why not?
Okay.
Now this is a little bit of a math one, so I might have to repeat it a couple times. I might also have to type it out. Okay. How many points would you earn from scoring 3 touchdowns, missing 2 extra points, making 3 field goals, and a safety? I'll type it in the chat.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
All right.
I'm like behind in math in school, so like this might be an issue.
That's concerning.
Yeah, this might be an issue.
I'm locked in. I think I got it.
I hadn't even typed anything yet.
Yeah, but I have my calculator.
Oh my God, he got a calculator.
You have a calculator?
Yeah,
that's all
that's
right.
So crazy, man. He got a calculator. What is this?
Okay.
Fraudulent trivia.
Okay.
This is a math question. This isn't trivia. This is just math.
Man, I should have gotten that too. I almost got there.
Okay. So we have that. Do you guys have your answers down for that?
Oh shoot! I didn't even. What was it again?
All right. I am ready.
Okay. I'm go. Do you want me to just say the answers after these next 5?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna type it in the chat.
3 touchdowns. 2 missed extra points. 3 field goals. And 1 safety.
Oh, I got that.
Okay. You guys both typed 30, and that is the correct answer.
Yes.
Mental math.
Order of operations.
So Arjun, I believe Arjun, that was your 3rd right one.
Yep.
And Charlie, I think that was your 3rd right one. We're gonna disclude the Rams one.
You can't do math.
He's one ahead of me.
Carson Palmer, yardage, Vikings, that one.
Yeah, that was your 4th. Sorry. So 4th. So it's up, Charlie, 4-3. Okay. How many winning seasons in a row did Tom Landry have for the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh Jesus, I should know this.
This
Hold on.
isn't fair. He's a Cowboys fan.
Oh my God, man! I should know
Well,
this.
Charlie, I
Tom
included
Landry.
a couple Los Angeles ones in there, some California
I
one.
live in San Francisco. I don't even live in San Francisco.
Okay, I gave you some California ones. I thought maybe you would know them. Okay.
That is not the same thing.
So, how many winning seasons in a row did Tom Landry coach for the Cowboys?
No idea.
Wait,
Shoot my
how
shot.
many? So Tom Landry coached for?
Arjun, have you submitted your response yet?
Not even close, honestly. I'm thinking.
All right.
Let me see.
Arjun, I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown for you to type your response. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is this
shoot.
the dagger?
I just guessed.
You are. Charlie said 11. Arjun said 8. The correct answer is 20 seasons in a
Jesus!
row.
Oh my God, Tom! I'm sorry, man.
20
Tom, I'm so
winning
sorry,
seasons
man.
in a row. So
I fumbled so hard.
now this might make you a little angry, but I think that the fact that the question I gave you guys with the 53.5 yards, that's definitely something that, you know what? I'll give it to you, Charlie. You were closest. All right.
I had an
I'm loving
invalid
these
answer.
rules. These rules aren't making a lot of sense.
Okay, well, so I knew that you guys weren't gonna get the 53.5 one. Like, Arjun's at 27 feet, for
Yo,
goodness
I'm
sake.
wrong. I almost got that too.
Okay.
27 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the correct answer was 20 seasons. So,
Man, I'm really good at
next
this.
one. What year was the first Super Bowl?
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! It's like 19. It's something like 100. Wait, no.
Yeah, but it's 100 years ago. Oh, wait. The first Super Bowl?
What year was the first Super Bowl?
Oh, dude.
Hold on.
Come on, that's too easy.
Hold on now. Hold on. What Super Bowl number are we on this year? Am I allowed to ask that?
Can. Will Brayden tell you it?
I think we're on 59. 58.
Something like that. I don't know the exact number.
57. No, Super Bowl 57 was this year.
Okay.
58. So, oh Jesus, I gotta do some math. I gotta whip out a calculator right now.
Arjun doing quick mental math right
Am I
here.
allowed to use a calculator?
Yeah, I used it.
Yes, Charlie used it. Charlie has his answer locked in. We're waiting on you, Arjun.
I'm very excited for my answer.
2024 minus 9. Oh, I got this.
In this question, I'm not gonna allow for the closest one.
Okay, you have to get it.
I don't.
got this.
I think I want to take back letting Charlie get that last answer right because it was wrong.
Okay. I think
I think we're just rooting against me now.
I did math correctly.
It's just that question was particular. Okay. Charlie, you answered 1965. Arjun, you answered 1966. The correct answer was 1967.
Oh, yes, that's me. That's me.
No. You
That's
said
me.
you said you had to get it exact. I'll take
Oh
away.
my God. Oh,
Yeah.
Listen. I understand this might be confusing, and the comments might hate me on this, but Arjun and Charlie, you both did not get that answer right. But I am taking back the one on Tom Landry. Charlie, you didn't you said 11. The correct answer was 20.
He said 8.
Wait, so are we tied?
So if he doesn't get this point, then that's fair. Then I don't get that point. If he doesn't get this point,
so
I don't get that point.
you guys have not gotten the last two questions.
So we're still
you
at
guys,
4-3.
yes, it's still 4-3.
All right, Charlie, I'm coming for you, buddy.
Okay, 4-3. Who is the only quarterback to play Super Bowls for 4 different head coaches?
Oh, what?
These are good questions, actually. Okay. What quarterback has been to 4 different Super Bowls? I feel like that's just a good question.
That's what I'm going on right now.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. He's a. Is he? Okay. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Can I ask how many did he go with the same team?
Wait, hold on now. That's just going to give it away.
Okay, he played for 2 teams.
Shoot. How many?
I'm thinking of one answer, but
How
I
did
know
he
for a
win?
fact that's wrong. No, how many did it win is going to give it away. That's going to give it away.
It might.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a 10-second countdown.
Oh, what the? Oh, my God. Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
8. He won 2 for both teams.
Oh,
7.
I know it.
6.
What? Oh,
5,
no.
4.
I was going to say, no. Whatever.
3, 2.
I don't know. I know that's wrong. I had no idea.
Charlie said Eli Manning. Arjun
What?
said Peyton Manning. The correct answer is Peyton Manning.
What? No! That's my first guess. Dang it, no!
Charlie, you forgot.
Wait, no, he didn't win both for the same team. One for the Colts, one for the Broncos.
Oh my
You're thinking,
God.
Charlie,
Oh my
Peyton
God.
Manning played on the Colts and Broncos. Eli Manning played on the Giants.
Oh my God, that's a dub.
Eli Manning only played for the Giants, Charlie.
Oh my God.
He said he won from the same team.
Oh God, no, but he played on 2 different teams. That's what he said.
Yeah, I said he played on 2 different
Oh, I
teams.
thought he won for 2 different teams, or he won for the same team. I
That's
think he won for the
crazy
same
Hail Mary.
team. Whatever.
And also, Eli Manning has not been to 4 Super Bowls. He's been to 2.
Well, he won both, so.
Against Tom Brady. Anyway,
I'm so happy.
now
So
it is
4-4.
all tied up with
I'm feeling
the
robbed.
last question. 4-4.
feeling robbed.
Are you guys ready?
No.
The last question to close out episode 2.
I'm feeling kind of mad right now.
What is the name of the position player who races down the field during a punt to try and tackle the punt returner as fast as they can?
I played this during my 1 year of freshman football.
Oh, I think I know this, but I don't know the name.
I already put my answer in, so you got 10 seconds.
Got it.
Charlie and Arjun, you both said Gunner, and that is the correct answer.
Bang.
We have to go to a tiebreaker. We're in overtime. The first overtime. Now, I handpicked these trivia questions because I thought they would be the most enticing, but I'm choosing from the trivia deck.
A trivia deck, wow.
It's a deck of cards, all with football trivia. I'm going to shuffle them right here.
Just pick one. Come on.
I'm going to go in the middle. Put one down. We're going to go off this one. What was the importance of a 1939 game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Brooklyn Dodgers?
What?
Wait. Brooklyn
That's a
Dodgers.
baseball team.
Yes.
Are we talking about baseball?
No, this is football.
Oh, I know what team that is now.
Yeah.
Wait,
It was the Eagles. Believe it or not, a lot of baseball teams actually, or like a lot of football teams went off of baseball teams early on when the NFL was just
Tigers are the Tigers are a baseball team and wait, no, they're not a football team. Never mind.
Well, Bengals are Tigers.
Yeah, same thing. You're right. Yeah, thank you. What's the significance of that game?
Yes. What was important about the 1939 game?
What month was it played in?
It doesn't have that.
All right.
I've been just typing a bunch of stuff and then deleting it.
This is such a random question.
Oh, can I ask you something? When
Sure.
was the first radio invented?
First radio was invented.
Do you know this off the top of your head?
I think it's like the 20s.
When was the
no,
first
the 20s.
radio invented?
Why? Why does this matter?
Bruh, you'll watch.
1894 was the first radio.
Okay. Okay, I'll just go with the other option.
What options are you basing off when the first radio was invented?
Seeing how many people could watch it. That's a pretty good hint.
You mean listen to it?
Okay, Arjun has his answer. Charlie,
I don't know.
put in an answer.
I'm going.
He's grinning like one of us got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. I don't know.
The question was, what was the importance of a 1939 game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Brooklyn Dodgers? Arjun said that it was TV broadcasted, and Charlie Van Dyke said it was the NFL championship. The correct answer, it was the first game to be televised.
Yes!
Gets the last question right and wins trivia
I'm feeling robbed.
5-4.
Oh!
What a comeback from
I'm feeling
Arjun Rani.
Yeah.
Feeling
Oh
robbed.
my God. I thought, you know why I guess that? TV broadcasters. 1939 is like a long time ago.
All three of us.
This was a random
Cool.
poll. Whatever.
Oh my God. My
All right, it was a random
right
poll.
now.
And despite being very high off of the energy from trivia, this will conclude episode 2 of the Coastal Feuds podcast. I'm Brayden Plord with Arjun Pirani and Charlie Van Dyke. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, follow us on social media, Coastal Feuds on Instagram and on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week. We hope Tyler can join us once again, and we might have a special guest coming up very soon. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.